Sprint weekends are inherently annoying because they fuck with the whole feng shui of a weekend layout. Having qualifying twice and then having qualifying after a sprint race and then having the race. It's pointless. Leave it in Formula 2. Also, yes, I am in a bed and I have left the country. And yes, I do actually have a passport.
And we have had the holiday from hell.
So I'm recording this in a hotel room, and bonus points if you could name in the comments which classic Tim Dillon episode that I'm paying homage to.
A little bit retarded.
I'm also not naked under here. We're still good. And the camera is currently balanced on a suitcase, so I've got to stop moving around because it'll be shaky. Anyway, the Chinese Grand Prix wasn't that bad.
I like China. 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 China.
It was pretty good. Piastri had a well-deserved win from pole, his first pole. Norris came in second, and then George Russell, again, sat there doing fuck all for third. Liam Lawson is continuing to disgrace himself with a very mediocre run from 19th to 14th, including a very sketchy move down the back straight to the second to last corner, in which he just decided to use Jack Doohan as his stopping technique by clarting into the side of him to take the position. I mean, what the fuck does he think he's doing? Does he think he's playing Formula 1 the game?
Off goes Leclerc, through goes Hamilton. Unbelievable.
Because that's all I did. Send the cunt up the inside, smack, take the corner, take the place, and away you go. Now, you may notice that this week, and indeed last week, I'm using limited footage from the actual race. And that is because Formula 1 can't decide what is copyright and what isn't copyright. Because some things I do are fine, and some things I do are not fine. And then I have to go through and take loads of shit out, which delays the video. So I'm using still images just like the race do. The race, who we love. So you'll see a lot of Ken Burns zooms into pictures of cars going around the China track because Formula 1 are knobs. And the race, being fans of the show, they're probably not fans of the show. I just stole what they did, which is a much better idea. Formula 1, leave me alone. So on Saturday, Lewis Hamilton wins the sprint race, which is nice for him. So what happens then? All the Ferrari fans piss themselves in neurotic glee and start getting all overconfident. Everyone was saying Lewis was regretting his decision last week. I don't think he was or is now. Give Hamilton a decent car and he'll give you wins. He's not back. To be back, he would have to have left. And he never left. What a man you are, Sir Lewis Hamilton. Jesus. First of many in red. We're so back. Yeah, it might be this year. Back on top. Forza Ferrari, Forza LH. This is what is known as jinxing something. To jinx, to bring bad luck to, or cast an evil spell on. This play is jinxed. Or Ferrari are still a bunch of knocky squeezing morons who will fuck everything up no matter what it takes. So then on Sunday the Grand Prix comes around at 7 a.m. and I wake up at 6:55, roll over, watch it on my phone and try and remain conscious while I watch this giant procession go round and round one of the worst tracks on the calendar. The Chinese Grand Prix track is a Hermann Tilke styled monstrosity with the stupid curly bit, and the only good bit is the long straight in which fuck all happens, and the only place that you can really overtake is after the long straight down to the little hairpin. But the pit lane grandstand is pretty cool with the big hoopy thing. Over the course of the race, Piastri started in pole and managed to keep everybody at bay with a decent strategy and went on to take a deserved win. Fernando Alonso's right arse cheek caught on fire, which put him out of the race altogether, and Charles Leclerc and Hamilton made contact in the first corner and chipped a little bit off Leclerc's front wing, which he actually managed to sustain the entire race, and it didn't slow him down that much, so props to Ferrari on that one. Then, as if anything couldn't get any more depressing, the stewards decide that the mental health of Ferrari fans isn't quite bad enough, so they disqualify both cars after the race. Ferrari are so back. Hamilton because his skid plate had worn too low, because they were obviously running the car too low, or Lewis was just particularly fat that day. And they disqualified Charles Leclerc because his car was too light, because for a change on this race, it wasn't full of fucking water. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. Hamilton and Leclerc are going to fucking lose it in the Maranello factory dealing with this incompetence. They're going to make Dylan and Eric look like a pair of fucking schoolboys. I mean, they were schoolboys, but they're going to make that whole situation look like a fucking walk in the park when they're finished with it. Lawson ended up finishing 16th.
Easy top three. If I'm not... 16th!
Which caused a little bit of a conversation in the Red Bull garage. After the race, as everybody suspected, there was a lot of talk about taking Yuki Tsunoda, banging him in Lawson's seat, and hoping for the best. But there was also speculation they would take Yuki from Racing Bulls, put him in the Red Bull, fuck Lawson off back to Kiwiland, and then put Franco Colapinto in the other Racing Bulls seat. Now, I have previously mentioned what I think about Yuki, and you're not all laughing now, are you? Like I said last week. This is obviously the latest development in the fucking car crash that is Red Bull's second seat. After Daniel Ricciardo fucked off to Renault for 2019, they had a succession of catastrophic mediocrity. Gasly gets binned, Alex Albon spends a good little while as Jos Verstappen's coffee maker, and then Sergio Perez spends 4 years in an abusive love triangle between Max, himself, and Helmut Marko. At this point, just kill them. Don't pretend like you want to help them develop. Don't pretend like, oh, he's had a rough half. Just start shooting them. Put them out of their fucking misery, because all you're doing is shuffling them around perpetually from team to fucking team with your enormous back catalogue of Red Bull Academy drivers and junior drivers and all this sort of stuff. Just kill them. Take Liam Lawson and punt him off the route of Milton Keynes. It'll send a message. It'll send a message. Don't accept the contract if you think you're not going to be able to do it, because we've given Helmut Marko a bolt gun and he's walking around the paddock with 2 bolt guns strapped to his thighs, executing anyone who looks at him funny. Sacrifice them on the altar to Jos Verstappen. I've had enough of this. Stop giving people and newspapers and bloggers and me stuff to comment on like that, because it's really fucking boring. It's really fucking boring to talk about continuous Red Bull team drama. Fucking hell, I thought the WhatsApp messages were bad enough, but it's just perpetual Sergio Perez's shit and keeps crashing. Sergio Perez is going to get binned off. Then they extend him. They give him another year's contract. Then they bring Liam Lawson in with 12 races. And now, after 2 races, they're ready to start sawing at his neck. Just put some half-decent driver in the second car that will finish in the points every week, pay them triple what Max gets, and tell them to shut the fuck up. You're not going to get a championship. You're not going to get the wins because we're going to give them to Max, but we're going to pay you 3 times what we pay Max because we're paying people out left, right, and fucking Chelsea anyway, so we may as well. Pay them 3 times as much, say shut the fuck up, get in the car, and otherwise Helmut will get the bolt gun out. He'll come and just bang. You won't even hear him coming. I suppose he doesn't have to close one eye to aim properly.
China.